Today I wanted to talk about something a little bit more obscure. This is a first round pick that nobody seemed to want. It was traded 5 times before it was finally used to draft a player, and if you're aware of a pick that was traded more than that, I'm not. So, this pick was in the 2009 NHL entry draft, and it was a first rounder, and it originally belonged to the San Jose Sharks. It was first traded to Tampa Bay on July the 4th, 2008. Then it was traded to Ottawa on August 29th, 2008. Then it was traded to the Islanders on February the 20th of 2009. The Islanders held on to the pick until after the season ended, the draft lottery had been decided and all that, and the pick was confirmed to be the 26th overall pick in the upcoming NHL entry draft. On draft day, it was first traded from New York to Columbus, and then later that same day, it was traded to the Ducks, and the Ducks were finally the team that decided to use this pick to draft a player. Now, you can take guesses as to who that player actually is, but we'll come back to that a little bit later on. On the screen right now are some people that were involved in this mess of trade after trade. Do you recognize any of them? If so, good job. If not, you suck, but that's okay. So, what we're going to do is go through these 5 trades on the left-hand side. The pick passed through 6 different teams before the Ducks finally selected a hockey player with it. So, first of all, the trade that started this whole process saw the San Jose Sharks acquiring from Tampa Bay longtime NHL defenseman Dan Boyle, who was part of the Lightning's 2004 Stanley Cup winning team, alongside Brad Lukowich in exchange for defenseman Matt Carle and Ty Wishart, plus a 2010 fourth-round pick that ended up being James Mullen, and what we're going to call our mystery 2009 first. So the Sharks are basically buying Boyle from the Lightning, who were going through a rebuild now, and the Lightning are getting this first-round pick, but they weren't going to keep it. They were about to pass it on to the Senators. Now, the Senators were going through a bit of a weird time themselves after crashing out of the playoffs in 4 games in 2008 and then missing the playoffs altogether in 2009. They were looking to enter a new phase of their franchise. They traded Andre Mazzaros, a defenseman from some of their teams that were very good, to the Tampa Bay Lightning in exchange for Alexander Picard, Philip Kuba, and our mystery 2009 first-round pick. Now, you may or may not remember Philip Kuba, but if I remember correctly, he was Erik Karlsson's defense partner the first time he won the Norris Trophy. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. This first-round pick would continue to get passed along about 6 months later in a trade to the New York Islanders. Now, this trade is actually pretty funny. So Ottawa got Chris Campoli, who's probably best known for this.
And he's dumped the puck back in. Campoli trying to clear it. Burrows shoots, scores!
But he also once scored a goal in overtime that went through the meshing of the net, got the puck back, and then scored again. Okay, so they got Campoli and Mike Comrie, who I think is best known for being married to Hilary Duff, I think. And in return, the Islanders got Dean McCammon, who is a fourth-line forward who was part of the Good Sens teams, and they also got the mystery first-round pick. So this trade that sent the mystery pick from the Islanders to Columbus is genuinely fascinating in its own right. As far as I'm aware, it's the only trade in NHL history that has had 6 draft picks in it. So by this point, it was draft day, and we knew that our mystery pick was going to be number 26 overall. So the Islanders are trading a second and a fourth, as well as downgrading their third-round pick by 15 slots in order to move up 10 spots in the first round from number 26 to number 16. Whether this is worth it seems a bit doubtful, but I mean, if there's a guy you want at 16 who's not going to be available at 26, what can you do? So, okay, this trade we're going to come back to a little bit later because there are actually other interesting things about it. But for the time being, we're going to continue to follow the trajectory of this pick number 26. So later that day, Columbus made another pick swap with Anaheim, where they traded pick number 37 in order to upgrade their pick number 26 to pick number 21. So they paid Anaheim a second-round pick to move up 5 spots in the first round. And this is the final stop for our mystery first-round pick. And I'll tell you who who was taken with the draft picks in this trade. So with the 21st pick, Columbus took John Moore. Anaheim, with pick number 37, selected Matt Clark, who I don't know very much about. And with the mystery 2009 first-round pick at number 26 overall, the Anaheim Ducks selected Kyle Palmieri. So that's the pick that was traded 5 times. It ended up being Palmieri. And ordinarily, this would be the end of the video, but I wanted to go back and talk about that 6-pick trade for a little bit more, because there are a few strange things going on there as well. So we're going back to this 6-pick trade between the Islanders and Columbus for a moment. Now, this 3rd-round pick number 62, that went from the Islanders to Columbus, a day later, while the draft was still going on, the Islanders actually reacquired that pick, and they used it to select Anders Nilsson, who's a goaltender who played a little bit for the Islanders. The 4th-round pick number 92, the Islanders got back in the same trade, and they used it to pick Casey Cizikas, who's currently a staple of their 4th line and has been for some time now. On the Islanders side of this trade, this 1st-round pick number 16 and the 3rd-round pick number 77, later that same day, the Islanders made another pick swap with Minnesota where they sent both of those picks in return for some other picks back. So both of those picks went to Minnesota. Minnesota ended up using the 3rd rounder to select Matt Hackett. So at the moment, on the screen right now, we've got 2 first-round picks that the Islanders traded away, plus this 2nd, which eventually went to the Ducks, and they took Matt Clark. With the 1st rounder that the Islanders traded away to Minnesota, Minnesota ended up taking defenseman Nick Leddy. And with the 1st-round pick that the Islanders sent to Columbus, that eventually found its way to Anaheim, the Ducks took Kyle Palmieri. And what do those 2 people have in common? Well, after the Islanders possessed both of their picks and traded them both away, they both ended up finding their way back to the New York Islanders. And that's kind of just a curiosity, but it's something that I found interesting. And that is the end of this video about very confusing pick swaps.